From zero to legendary coach. Dai Li's journey to sports mastery. Please like, share and subscribe. Episode 41, The Reason for Gaining Weight. Professional athletes have very strict dietary requirements, especially at the level of UFEFE athletes, Olympic champions, world record holders, swimming slams, and they must be protected like baby pandas. There is a little sloppy. In order to ensure the safety of the diet, UFEFE will go to the designated place to eat. If you want to eat out, you must also observe certain disciplines. For example, meat must not be eaten, because large-scale domestic poultry or livestock, definitely drugs such as antibiotics and even hormone drugs are used to promote their rapid growth. Both antibiotics and hormones are taboos for athletes. Once the meat with antibiotics or hormones is eaten by mistake, if the urine test cannot be passed in the game, it will be suspended for a penalty, and in serious cases, it may lead to the end of the career. UFEFE took Dai to the restaurant of the provincial sports team. All the ingredients in the restaurant were specially supplied, and all the meat had to be tested before being sent to the kitchen. There is absolutely no problem in safety. The restaurant has a special nutritional catering, and it can also provide single fry for individual athletes. UFEFE obviously belongs to the kind of individual athlete. As the world record holder, UFEFE will enjoy special preferential treatment in the national team. Returning to the provincial team, the natural treatment is the highest treatment. The cook on duty fired 2 dishes for UFEFE alone, and then mixed some cold dishes. In a flash, 4 small plates were put together, and Dai was also polite, and ate it gulpingly. Dai has always been very attentive when eating. He doesn't like to talk at dinner, but the opposite UFEFE is completely different. She behaves very talkatively and starts sharing her with Dai. History. In the past 2 years, my weight has been increasing, especially last year. The weight has increased by 14 pounds in a year, and the competitive state has declined rapidly because of the increase in weight. UFEFE said. Why? Dai still had food stuffed in his mouth and said vaguely, "You must have been lazy in training." "I don't have it." UFEFE retorted immediately, "I was not lazy when I was training, and I also increased my training amount, but it had no effect. My weight was still rising. For a while, I felt like drinking cold water." "Are fat. Did you go to the hospital for a check?" Dai then asked. "Well," UFEFE said a little shyly, "the doctor said this is normal physiological development." Dai immediately understood that normal people step into the youth from adolescence. After adolescence, height and weight increase are inevitable, and basically all grow taller first, and then grow longer. Many people have reached the age of 18 after their age. Not long, but the weight will always increase. This is a normal physiological phenomenon. However, for athletes such as Feifei, this physiological weight gain is obviously disastrous, which will directly lead to a decline in her competitive state, and the decline is very rapid. When the national team tested internally at the end of last year, UFEFE's the results have already reached the bottom of the national team. Only Feifei continued, "The national team also helped me think of a lot of ways. They hired domestic first-class nutritionists and trainers to help me lose weight, but the effect is very limited, and the rebound is also very powerful. In the end, those experts have no way. It's against science to tell a person not to gain weight during growth and development." Dai then asked, "Then why did you appear in the training room of the sports university? At this time, the national team still has no holidays?" "The team gave me a holiday in advance and said that let me go home for the new year earlier and adjust my mindset." UFEFE's eyes showed a stubbornness, "But I am not reconciled. I don't want to come back so gray. I feel that as long as I work hard, I can definitely lose weight, so I didn't go home. But went directly to our provincial swimming team." However, the coach of the swimming team, Su Zhongyi, just went out to study, and the training environment of the provincial swimming team is not suitable. "So I came to sports university." Looking at this stubborn little girl, Dai nodded silently. UFEFE was a girl after all. She certainly didn't want too many people to know that she was in a state of decline because of her weight, especially not wanting the media to do much of this. Article. So he used to find a quiet training environment and train by himself. In Xiqing City, only sports universities have training equipment and facilities as good as the provincial sports team. And now it is just during the winter vacation. There are no students in the university. The training environment is definitely very quiet, let alone interrupted by the reporter. UFEFE's training at the University of Physical Education is naturally the less people know the better, so even Dai, the duty teacher, has no knowledge of this. If it is not the hospitalization of the old money food poisoning in the training room, Dai probably UFEFE will not have any intersection. Dai put down the chopsticks and asked, "You cried your nose in the training room just because you were not underweight?" UFEFE blushed and nodded, "I practiced for a whole day, but after training, I drank a glass of water, and my weight went back again. At that time, I felt particularly frustrated, and I couldn't help crying." After Li Dai returned to the dormitory, he immediately entered the system and became familiar with this set of weight loss exercises. Yu Feifei will definitely come back tomorrow. When Li Dai can't fool her with a half-hanging weight loss exercise novel.me, so Li Dai feels that tonight, he must be familiar with the whole set of weight loss exercises, even if he can't get it through. Must be proficient in movement. Inadvertently, Li Dai glanced at his state, but a number surprised Li Dai. Name, Li Dai. Coach level, third-rate coach, advanced stage, 1006/5000. Others, explosive aura. Skills, weight loss exercises. Training list, Yu Feifei, Zhao Youguan, Sui Guan, Lu Qiuxing. Experience value is 1006? Over 1,000? I remember staying at 955 for a long time. How did it rise to more than 1,000 inch? After upgrading to the advanced stage of the third-rate coach, Li Dai can increase his experience by about 30 points a day, and it must be in a full day of training to achieve this standard. If there are fewer training tasks on a certain day, Li Dai can't get so much experience. Prior to this, Li Dai's experience value was 955, and due to the winter vacation, Li Dai had to suspend training. Without training, the experience value would not increase. This 955 experience value has also been maintained for several days. 2. But now, the experience value has become 1006, which means that Li Dai has increased the experience value by 51 points. Obviously there was no training. How did the experience value rise? And it suddenly rose by 51 points, which is almost catching up with my 2-day experience value. What is going on? Li Dai thought about it a little. I thought of a possibility. Episode 42, Outstanding Results. Li Dai feels a little weird. As a coach, Li Dai always feels that training is king. Such things as weight loss exercises can only be regarded as a side stream beyond training. But now, the side streams in his eyes have brought him more experience gains. Think about it. Teaching weight loss exercises is just a kind of training, there will be no more benefits. The voice of the system once again appeared in Li Dai's mind. Then how do I explain the 51 points of experience? I usually get 30 points of experience at most for 1 day of training, but I can take Yu Feifei to do 2 sets of weight loss exercises and get 51 points of experience. Li Dai immediately stabilized. Don't forget who Yu Feifei is. She is the Olympic champion and the world record holder. The athletes you usually train are the highest level national athletes. Compared with the world record holder, it is simply heaven and earth. The gap. I remember telling you before, the higher the level of athletes you train, the more experience you get. So to train a world record holder, top you are training hundreds of national first-class athletes. The system immediately said. A world record holder is comparable to hundreds of first-class athletes, which is too exaggerated. Li Dai sighed. No exaggeration at all. If calculated according to the ratio, let alone hundreds of first-class athletes, even tens of thousands of first-class athletes can't get a world record. The system continued, and your luck is really good. Good luck? What does this mean? Li Dai asked. You are just the lowest level third-rate coach. The voice of the system is full of disdain. Your level is too low, and you are not qualified to train athletes at the world championship level. Even if you participate in the training, it will not play. The effect. But it is a coincidence that you met a world champion who needs to lose weight. She needs you to help her lose weight, so your third-rate coach also has a chance to train the world champion. Li Dai was a little dissatisfied. He felt that the system was too degrading. However, the system went on to say, I suggest that you still cherish this opportunity. After all, you can get a lot of experience from Yu Feifei, so that you can upgrade to a second-class coach in advance. Li Dai nodded silently. It is also said that there are 51 points of experience in 2 weight loss exercises. If you practice a day on the phone, wouldn't you have hundreds of experiences? Old Money lived in the hospital, and Li Dai was temporarily in charge of the training room on the 3rd floor. The next day, when Li Dai came to the training room, he saw that Yu Feifei was already waiting at the door. I'm here so early. Have you eaten breakfast? Do you want me to buy you some if you don't? Today's soy milk is quite thick. Li Dai held half a fritter in one hand and touched the cup of soy milk in the other. Eat the incense. But Yu Feifei was very worried. Hurry up and eat, let's continue to practice your weight loss exercise. Looking at the appearance of Yu Feifei, Li Dai couldn't help laughing. The word weight loss has a huge temptation to women, not to mention an athlete who urgently needs to lose weight to get back. Yu Feifei practiced weight loss exercises for almost a whole day, and the result was that she was 1 kilogram and 1 kilogram lighter than yesterday. Although the result was not as good as the first night, Yu Feifei was still ecstatic. Yu Feifei has been losing weight for the past 2 years. As a result, instead of losing weight, she has increased a lot. Even through dieting, at most it is to ensure that the weight cannot be increased. Yu Feifei has not seen her weight become too long. So in the past 2 days, I lost 1 pound and 6 pounds, giving Yufei an unparalleled sense of excitement. In fact, with the passage of time, the effect of weight loss exercises has also continued to decline. At the earliest, it can lose 1 pound and 1 pound a day, and later it became 1 pound a day, then 9 days a day. 8 2 halves. This is mainly because Yufei gradually began to approach his normal weight, and the potential for weight loss is also decreasing. Although the rate of weight loss is decreasing every day, after 15 days of accumulation, Yufei also lost 12 pounds of weight, which is almost the same as her weight a year ago. In terms of results, losing 12 kgs in 15 days is definitely an extraordinary achievement. In these 15 days, Li Dai has also gained a lot of experience. As the system puts it, for 100 ordinary first-level athletes on top of Fei, Li Dai's accumulated experience value has also exceeded 4,000. I am about to upgrade to become a second-class coach. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 2 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Training room still sounded Li Dai's slogan. Yufei is based on a cheerful look. Although it is boring to do the same movements every day, but she can lose weight every day, but Yufei is full of hope. Coach Li, let's take a break for a while. This set of weight loss exercises, I have long remembered it, I can practice it myself, Yufei said. That wouldn't work. Li Dai immediately shook his head and said, the most important point of my ancestral weight loss exercise is not to learn the movement, but to master the sense of rhythm. You are not familiar with the sense of rhythm. Not as effective as losing weight. Li Dai will not let Yufei practice weight loss exercises. Reading www.uukunshu.com. The necessary condition for effective weight loss exercise is that it needs to be done under the leadership of Li Dai to have an effect. Of course, Yufei practice alone will not play a part. Weight loss effect. I didn't see any sense of rhythm. Yufei pouted, apparently dismissing Li Dai's excuse, but still expressing obedience to Li Dai. Obedience to the coach, this may be a habit that Fei has developed for more than 10 years. Li Dai took a breath. He stretched his waist and said, well, let's practice again, prepare, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 2 2 3 4. At this time, the training is in the corridor outside, the sound of footsteps is far and near, but it is covered by the voice of Li Dai shouting slogans. Suddenly someone shouted, what are you doing? Li Dai and Yufei stopped by coincidence, looked at the door, and saw a tall middle-aged man standing there. The man was slightly blessed, wearing a black peaked cap on his head, and his temples were pale. Thick eyebrows, big eyes, double eyelids and big noses, and the skin is also very good. Not only is the skin tone very white, but also very shiny. Li Dai can imagine that if the person in front of him was placed 20 years ago, he is definitely a handsome guy. Who is this person? I don't seem to have seen him, he should not be a teacher of the school. Li Dai Gang was about to step forward, but Yufei next to him was the first to speak. Coach Su. You are back. Yufei looked very surprised and walked over quickly. It turns out that he is the Coach Su often mentioned by Fei. Li Dai took a breath. However, the Coach Su's expression was extremely serious. He glared at Li Dai and looked at Yufei again, and asked, did you say that you were losing weight here? How are you doing radio gymnastics? Episode 43, Coach Su. Li Dai stood aside with embarrassment. In terms of movement, the weight loss exercise is indeed very similar to the radio gymnastics done in school. Coach Su regarded the weight loss exercise as a radio gymnastics, and Li Dai was not surprised. Li Dai didn't explain it. He knew that it was useless. Only those who really followed their own weight loss exercises would be able to experience the effect of weight loss exercises. But Yufei is unhappy. This weight loss exercise has made her lose more than 10 pounds in a short time. She is now convinced of the weight loss exercise and trusts Li Dai very much, only listening to Fei. Said, Coach Su, this is not radio gymnastics, this is weight loss. Weight loss exercise? Coach Su frowned, then asked, where did you learn from? Coach Li taught me. Yufei pointed to Li Dai, and then said, I forgot to introduce, this is the provincial Coach Li, who has trained with me these days. Yufei finished and said to Li Dai, Coach Li, this is the Su coach of the provincial swimming team, is also my enlightenment coach. It turned out to be Coach Su, and I heard the name for a long time. Li Dai immediately reached out his right hand. Regarding Coach Su, Li Dai has heard it from Yufei many times before. Coach Su's name was Su Zhengyi. He was a swimmer when he was young, and later became a coach when he retired. Coach Su's wife is also a well-known swimming coach. When Yufei began to swim at the age of 6, the Su Gui couple at the time happened to be in the sports school. Yufei went to Su Zhengyi's door. The husband and wife were almost going to train Fei as their own daughter. Later, Yufei entered the provincial team, and Coach Su and his wife were promoted to the provincial swimming team as coaches, and continued to coach Yufei until Yufei entered the national team. And Su Zhengyi, because he cultivated Yufei, the world champion, has also been promoted to the head coach of the provincial swimming team. He is also a prominent figure in the entire provincial sports team. A few days ago, when Yu Feifei had just returned to the provincial team, the Su Zhangyi and his wife happened to take some athletes to the south for training. They just returned this morning. The first thing after Su Zhangyi returned to Qingchang was to find his proud disciple Yu Feifei, and it turned out that Yu Feifei was practicing weight loss exercises. Facing Li Dai's right hand, Su Zhangyi did not show any kindness. He snorted and said, "What a mess of weight loss exercises, this is a regular training room, not a gym." For a professional coach who has been in the business for more than 10 years, where would you believe in weight loss exercises? In Su Zhangyi's opinion, weight loss exercises may be effective for ordinary people, but for athletes, there is no doubt that it is a waste of time. Fitness exercise is basically to consume the energy of the body through exercise. How can the weight loss exercise be consumed, and how can it be comparable to the energy consumption of high-intensity training for athletes? What's more, this so-called weight loss exercise looks like radio gymnastics performed by primary and secondary school students. Su Zhangyi even felt that this kind of thing couldn't even make people sweat. Li Dai felt Su Zhangyi's full of maliciousness, he just wanted to explain, but the opposite Su Zhangyi did not give Li Dai the opportunity to speak. Su Zhangyi glared at Li Dai and asked with a rather severe tone, "Coach Li, you are so young, how did you become an official coach of a sports university?" "I am still an assistant coach," Li Dai hurriedly explained. It turned out to be just an assistant coach. Su Zhangyi's face suddenly turned black, seeming to suppress the anger in his heart. He snarled and said, "You are an assistant coach, what is the qualification to participate in the training of Feifei? Yu Feifei is the champion of the Olympic Games, is it the world record holder? What weight loss exercise did you give me, did you use it as a gym? Do you regard the world champion as a little girl practicing yoga in the gym? What about your sports university? I made such a big mistake. Let an assistant coach train Yu Feifei. I will never give up on this matter." "No, Coach Su, you listen to me explain." Li Dai was just halfway through, but was immediately interrupted by Su Zhangyi. "Explain? I think your leader should give me an explanation. Is it possible that an assistant coach is qualified to train the world champion in your school? The assistant coach in your school is more powerful than the coach of the national team. This matter your school must give me an explanation," Su Zhangyi said solemnly. From the perspective of Su Zhangyi, he certainly can't stand an assistant coach participating in Yu Feifei's training. After all, Yu Feifei is a world champion athlete and is equipped with the best coaching team in the country. Low-level coaches participate in Yu Feifei's training, which not only does not play a positive role, but may also help. More importantly, if the coach is improperly guided, it is easy to cause athletes to be injured in training, so Su Zhangyi will never tolerate the training of a young assistant coach Yu Feifei. "I just helped Feifei lose weight," Li Dai explained. "Weight loss, just your radio gymnastics? Do you think you are teaching elementary school students? There are so many fitness coaches in the national team, and they also specially invited university-level dietitians, but did not let Yu Feifei lose weight. Your radio gymnastics, there is a fart use." Su Zhangyi shouted angrily. "Me was said by others that there is a fart use." Li Dai also ignited anger in his heart, his expression suddenly gloomy, not humble, and said, "I can tell you clearly that the effect of this set of weight loss exercises is better than the physical coaches of the national team and the dietitians at the university professor level. Crazy ignorance." Su Zhangyi snorted coldly, "I really don't know how you like a brain disability became an assistant coach at a sports university. On your own, how dare you compare with the physical coach of the national team? How dare you compare with the university professor level the ratio of dietitians? Do you know how thick the sky is and how thick it is? I'm not blunt to say that you can't even compare to a single person's hair. Is it better than others? It's not by mouth. It depends on the specific effect. I can help Feifei lose weight. I can let her lose weight, but the national team's fitness coach can't do it. I'm a university professor. If you can't do it, it means that I am more capable than them in terms of weight loss," Li Dai said diametrically. Su Zhangyi seemed to be anxious, and he gasped hard. "Okay, you say you have more skills than them, then you can show your skills, let me know what you know. But don't just talk about it. It's just a fake trick, anyone knows, the stick also says that it is the first in the universe. We don't have the right to fart." Li Dai et al. "Is this sentence?" he directly asked. "Coach Su, do you know how much Yu Feifei weighed before returning to Qingcheng?" Su Zhangyi hesitated and said, "About 70 kilograms. Okay, then I will show you how much Yu Feifei's weight is now." Li Dai finished, pointing to the electronic scale not far away, and said to Yu Feifei, "Feifei, weigh on the scale. Say, let Coach Su see if my weight loss exercises are useful." Episode 44, Disbelief. The height of swimmers is generally relatively high. For swimming, the height of athletes means that they have more advantages. Those who are tall generally have excellent arm spans, which can make faster progress when rowing. Speed, people with longer arms will approach the line first when approaching the finish line. Of course, if the height is too high, the body will be difficult to form a streamline, and may encounter greater resistance in the water, so people who are too high are not suitable for swimming. The swimmers of the national team, the height of male players is generally between 1.85 meters and 2 meters, and the height of female players is generally more than 1.70 meters. There are even girls who are up to 1.80 meters. Taking Yufei as an example, her height is 1.72 meters, but she can only be considered short in the national swimming team. In terms of weight, the female athletes of swimming teams generally weigh 60 to 65 kilograms, and the taller female athletes may weigh more than 65 kilograms. For ordinary women, if they are 1 meter 70 tall and weigh 60 kilograms, they may feel fat, but athletes have a lower body fat rate, so for the same height and weight, athletes will definitely look thinner than ordinary people. A few years ago, when Feifei broke the world record, she weighed only 55 kilograms, but considering that Yufei's body had not yet fully developed at that time, 55 kilograms was an appropriate weight. However, with the increase of age, Yufei reached a period of growth and development, and his weight suddenly soared to 70 kilograms. According to the assessment of the national team coach, if Yufei wants to return to the world championship level, her weight needs to be reduced to less than 62 kilograms. Athletes with a height similar to Yufei in the national team are about 60 to 63 kilograms. Within the range, which means that Yufei needs to lose at least 8 kilograms, which is 16 kilograms. In the training room, Li Dai and Su Zhangyi were arguing tit for tat, and Yufei next to him wanted to persuade him, but he couldn't talk. At this time, Yufei finally heard Li Dai's call and asked her to weigh on the scale. Yufei couldn't help but feel happy, but she first looked at Su Zhangyi as if to seek Su Zhangyi's opinion. Let's call it. Su Zhangyi looked at Li Dai with contempt, and then said, I want to see what tricks you can play. Li Dai made a gesture of invitation, and then said, Coach Su, please, let's go and see how much training Yufei has lost in these days. Su Zhangyi snorted and walked towards the electronic scale. Li Dai followed Su Zhangyi. Yufei stepped on the electronic scale, and then stabilized her body, and the number on the electronic scale stabilized. Coach Su, please see it. Li Dai pointed the number with his finger. 63.11 kilograms? 126 kilograms? Su Zhangyi was shocked in his heart, and his expression also changed. He looked at Yufei, and then looked at the numbers on the electronic scales. His face was filled with incredible expressions. How is this possible? The weight has been reduced by at least 14 pounds. Feifei, you have only been in Xinjiang for 20 days. How can you lose so much weight in such a short time? Su Zhangyi asked. Didn't equal Feifei's answer, but Li Dai took the lead and said, Yufei can lose so much weight, of course, my weight loss exercises have played a role. Nonsense. Just your radio gymnastics can make Feifei thin by 14 pounds. Su Zhangyi still didn't believe that weight loss exercises were really effective. He turned his head and asked solemnly about Feifei, Feifei, you told me honestly, how did you lose weight? Did you take medicine? No, coach, I didn't eat too much. I can lose so much weight, it really depends on Coach Li's weight loss exercises. Yufei said. Su Zhangyi knew that Yufei would not lie to himself, but he still didn't believe that something that looked the same as radio gymnastics could make Yufei lose weight in a short period of time, and could solve the national team physical fitness coach and university nutrition professor. Problems that cannot be solved. This completely violated Su Zhangyi's normal cognition. According to the electronic weight scale, Yufei's current weight is 63 kilograms, and the goal of 62 kilograms is already close at hand, which means that if Yufei can recover his status, he will once again have the strength of the world championship level. For Su Zhangyi, all of this came too suddenly. The so-called ears and ears were empty eyes, but Su Zhangyi saw 63 kilograms with his own eyes, but he was still full of doubts. It's impossible. Athletes are really sleepy because of weight loss. It's only been more than 20 days. If you want to lose 2 or 3 pounds, I believe that it is totally unreasonable to lose 14 pounds all at once. That's the problem. Let me take a closer look. Su Zhangyi calmed down and began to carefully recall what had just happened. Suddenly, Su Zhangyi turned his head, pointed at this electronic scale, and said sharply to Li Dai, I understand that there is a problem with this scale, and it must be a problem with this electronic scale. Did you move your hands and feet, right? Li Dai smiled disdainfully. He pointed to the side, if you think this scale is inaccurate, there is one next to it, you can go up and try it. Who knows if you have any hands or feet on that one? If you can change one, you have the ability to change two, maybe you have changed both scales. Su Zhangyi snorted, expressing his tense to Li Dai 2 points of distrust. Well, you weigh yourself on the scale, what is your weight? You should be very clear. This way you can verify, this electronic scale is not allowed. Li Dai said. Feifei immediately gave up the position, and Su Zhangyi strode the meteor onto this electronic scale. 85.53 kilograms, Coach Su, can't see it, you're quite heavy, over 170 kilograms. Li Dai said ridiculously. And Su Zhongyi was silent. Of course he knew how much he weighed. I just weighed the day before yesterday. At that time, my weight was more than 172 pounds, less than 173 pounds. Although this scale was different from what I weighed the day before yesterday, it was only 1 pound. This error is within the allowable range. Yes. So is this electronic scale accurate? Su Zhongyi couldn't help but look at Yu Feifei, but she lost 14 pounds. To say that the electronic scale can weigh out an error of 14 pounds, Su Zhongyi thought it was impossible. No. Su Zhongyi suddenly shouted, I understand, Feifei, you have lost so much in such a short time, you must be sick. Let's go back and take a rest. I will take you to the hospital tomorrow, do a comprehensive medical examination. Opposite Li Dai showed a look of crying and laughing. This Su Zhongyi, why don't you believe that my weight loss exercises are really effective? Episode 45, this is not radio gymnastics. Su Zhongyi does not believe that weight loss exercises are really effective, but Li Dai can understand. 20 days thin 14 pounds, which is also an extremely difficult challenge for normal people, not to mention athletes lose weight more difficult than normal people, as long as people with normal IQ will not believe that with a set of weight loss exercises can make you Feifei thin 14 pounds. Although Su Zhongyi is very impulsive, he is not stupid. On the contrary, he is also very smart, otherwise he will not be the head coach of the provincial swimming team. Just now he saw Li Dai teaching Feifei to do this kind of radio gymnastics, and he was instantly angered, eager to rush over to beat Li Dai, and now he gradually calmed down, and his reason began to slowly return. Su Zhongyi does not believe that weight loss exercises are really effective. He has already lost weight in Feifei's short period of time. Due to the disease, he has planned to take Yu Feifei to the hospital for a medical examination. Coach, I'm not sick, I'm very healthy. Yu Feifei quickly explained. If I'm not sick, why would I lose so much at once? Feifei, listen to the coach, let's go to the hospital tomorrow. Su Zhongyi looked at Yu Feifei nervously. Coach, I lost so much because Coach Li's weight loss exercises are effective. Yu Feifei repeated this sentence again. But Su Zhongyi didn't listen at all, still insisting on taking Feifei to the hospital. At this point, Li Dai also finally said, Coach Su, since you look down on my weight loss exercises so much, I feel that my weight loss exercises have no effect. I don't think so. You follow me to do a set of weight loss exercises and experience it yourself. Effect. Just like you do not know the so-called radio gymnastics? Su Zhongyi is still a disgusted expression. Coach Su, you said just now that if you don't practice as a fake, then we can practice it. Li Dai smiled confidently, and then said, if you follow me to do a set of weight loss exercises, no if any effect, then I admit that I am fooling. Coach Su, dare to come and tear me down? Why don't you dare? I'm going to take a look at the radio gymnastics of you foolish people now. When it comes to this, Coach Su's refusal is weak, but he directly agreed. Li Dai showed his strategic eyes. He added Su Zhongyi to the training list. Su Zhongyi was also a professional athlete. Although he has retired, the system still judges him as a professional athlete, so he can fully enjoy the effects of weight loss exercises. Then Li Dai said, Coach Su, you haven't practiced this set of weight loss exercises. Let's do it slower first, lest you be unskilled and can't keep up. Li Dai is deliberately mobilizing, and Coach Su is also very cooperative. He waved his hand and said, no. Although it is about to come, I am a low-level radio gymnastics. Play the rest. I can definitely keep up with it, and there is nothing wrong with it. Well, let's get started. Prepare. Get started. Li Dai shouted again the slogan. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 2 2 3 4. Su Zhongyi's face was full of disdain, and he looked at Li Dai with an ironic look. Pretend to be a ghost and don't know where to learn radio gymnastics. I changed my movements and dared to say what weight loss exercises. Ordinary people in the gym can also fooling, professional coaches, hum. Su Zhongyi snorted coldly, but at this moment, a warm current suddenly appeared in Su Zhongyi's body, spreading throughout Su Zhongyi's body instantly. This warm current, like a ray of warm sunlight sent in the cold winter, swayed on his body, making every cell feel the spring-like warmth. Su Zhongyi's eyes flashed in a flash. As an experienced coach, he never encountered such a situation. Nothing, naturally feel hot when you are physically active. Sometimes you do sweating when you do warm-up exercises. It's probably a little hot in this room. Su Zhongyi comforted himself. However, this warm feeling is getting stronger and stronger, passing into the blood vessels and penetrating into the bone marrow. Su Zhongyi can even feel that the cells in his body are starting to become active, stepping on the same dance points and exercising with himself. What's going on? How can I feel this way? Is it an illusion? Su Zhongyi took a breath, he looked at Li Dai, his expression finally dignified. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 2 2 3 4. Li Daizai on the opposite side still shouted the slogan, but the sound of the slogan in Su Zhangyi's ears seemed to have become the drumming point for the soldiers to move forward. Urged him to make the next move. It's just radio gymnastics. It's impossible to make you fei thin by 14 pounds. I want to believe in science. Su Zhangyi comforted himself again. Finally, a set of weight loss exercises was completed. Li Dai and Su Zhangyi stopped at the same time. Coach Su, how do you feel? Li Dai asked. Childish. Su Zhangyi pouted and said calmly, when I went to the sports school, I did radio gymnastics in the school, but I was the one in front of me. Li Dai ignored Su Zhangyi's bragging. He pointed to the electronic scale next to him and said, Coach Su, weigh on the scale. Just now you are 85.53 kilograms. Now let's see if your weight is lighter. Are you crazy or stupid? Your radio gymnastics did it from start to finish in less than 20 minutes, and this amount of exercise might as well let me go for a 200-meter freestyle. How much calories can it consume? You see, I didn't even sweat out, and I still lost weight? Where did the sports school recruit you such a fool? Su Zhangyi said angrily. My weight loss exercise, no matter whether you sweat or not, it will be effective any time. Li Dai said without scruples. Once it works? Well, I will let you sober. Su Zhangyi strode the meteor to the electronic scale. Su Zhangyi stood on the electronic scale and then stabilized his body. The numbers on the scale no longer changed. He looked down, but the numbers on the display made Su Zhangyi's heart tight. 85.21 kilograms? How much did I just call it? By the way, Yu reading www.uukanshu.com is 85.53 kilograms, which is 6.2 times lighter than that just now. This is unscientific. Is the scale broken? Su Zhangyi thought suddenly fell into chaos. Weighing twice before and after, the time interval is 20 minutes, and Su Zhangyi is 6.2 times lighter. If Su Zhangyi went to the toilet during the period, maybe it is okay to explain, but Su Zhangyi did not go anywhere, even himself. All said, no drop of sweat came out, which suddenly lightened by 6.2, so Su Zhangyi could not explain it to himself. Li Dai has come to the front. He glanced at the number on the scale and said, Coach Su, you are 6 or 2 lighter. It seems that my set of weight loss exercises is still very good. Weight loss exercise. At this moment, even if Su Zhangyi did not want to admit, he must face this problem. In these 20 minutes, except for playing with Li Dai, he only did this set of weight loss exercises. Su Zhangyi didn't think that he could lose 6 inches by moving his mouth. The only explanation is that this set of weight loss exercises is really effective. How is it possible? The so-called weight loss exercise I did just now is similar to radio gymnastics. This kind of thing without difficulty should not consume too many calories, but how can I lighten 6? The wallet was taken out. Su Zhangyi unconsciously took out his trouser pocket and found that the key and wallet were inside. Is this weight loss exercise really working? Su Zhangyi looked at Li Dai in shock, hoping to get an answer from Li Dai's face. Li Dai smiled slightly. Coach Su, you believe it this time, my weight loss exercise is really effective, so you Feifei followed me for more than 20 days and could lose 14 pounds. You followed me to practice at one time, you can also lose 6 pairs. Facts are in front of him. Su Zhangyi cannot help but believe. He stepped off the scale and fell into silence. Episode 46, Wind Blows. After Su Zhangyi returned home, he was still in a state of unrestrained spirit. All this happened tonight is like a movie clip, and it constantly emerges in Su Zhangyi's mind. Every time I think back, a shocking feeling will appear in Su Zhangyi's heart. Li Dai's weight loss exercise broke Su Zhangyi's decades-old concept. Do a set of weight loss exercises, you can lose 6 too. If you don't experience it personally, I don't believe it. What is the origin of this young Coach Li, and how did he do all this? Su Zhangyi was lost in thought. Su Zhangyi has long realized that he blamed Li Dai for mistakes. He felt that he should apologize to Li Dai, but think of Li Dai as a young assistant coach. Su Zhangyi shook his head again. He is anyway the head coach of the swimming team, and today is so domineering. If he really goes to apologize, Su Zhangyi feels that he can't hold back his old face. It's unscientific to lose weight once. It's unscientific. I really don't believe in evil. Su Zhangyi stood up and recalled Li Dai's set of weight loss exercises and did it in the living room. What's the next action? Su Zhangyi was thinking about it, and his wife came over. Su Zhangyi's wife is Lu Qian, who is also a swimming coach. At this time, he came over panic. Old Su, it's not good. Something happened. Lu Qian said. What's wrong? Su Zhangyi asked. Fifi has something wrong with her. Lu Qian hurried to the front, still holding a mobile phone in her hand. Just listened to her and said, there is news that Feifei is going to be fired by the national team, and it is spread all over the circle of friends. Su Zhangyi hurriedly grabbed the phone, glanced at it briefly, and then said, these are all rumors and nonsense. The key is that some news reports have appeared on some websites. I don't believe you searched them, Su Zhongyi's wife said. Su Zhongyi immediately picked up his mobile phone and searched on it. On the screen of the mobile phone, there was a piece of news that had been reprinted by major portals. Yu Feifei is about to be expelled from the national team. Recently, many media have received an email with no specific signature in the public mailbox. The subject of the message is Yu Feifei is about to be expelled from the national team. According to the content of this email, Yu Feifei has recently been slack in training. As a result, his weight has increased significantly, which has seriously affected Yu Feifei's competitive state. It is understood that Yu Feifei's weight has exceeded 70 kilograms. It is reported that there is a meeting within the swimming sports center to discuss whether Yu Feifei is required to return to Han, the training of the North Provincial swimming team. Once Yu Feifei was asked to return to the Hanbei provincial team, it meant that she was expelled from the national team. As to whether Yu Feifei will be expelled from the national team, the reporter contacted the National Sports Administration Swimming Center, but did not get a positive response. However, the reporter learned that Yu Feifei is not currently in the national swimming team, but has returned. The Hanbei provincial swimming team may confirm the authenticity of the rumor from the side. The reporter will continue to pay attention to this matter. After reading the entire news report, Su Zhongyi's face has changed greatly. This is someone making a secret move, deliberately discrediting Feifei. Even the weight is so detailed, it must be done by the people inside the national team, Su Zhongyi said immediately. There is a saying that someone will have rivers and lakes, and there will be a dark side in any industry, as well as athletes. It is also common for the best teammates to tear each other's faces in order to qualify for a place and to get an honor. The self-employed brigade even had incidents of secretly adding doping to the water of teammates. Yu Feifei, as a national swimming team's signature athlete, will receive special preferential treatment both in training and competition. For example, in the 200-meter medley and 400-meter medley, as long as Yu Feifei is present, it will inevitably occupy a quota for the competition. Even if Yu Feifei is in a bad state, even if there is only one quota, the Swimming Management Center will also leave this quota to Feifei. The national team is willing to use the chance of the game again and again, to help Feifei to get back to the state. Therefore, once Yu Feifei leaves the national team, there will definitely be other people benefiting, not to mention the competition quota, let alone the training resources occupied by Yu Feifei in the national team. They will be allocated to other people's heads, so Yu Feifei there are more than one beneficiary who left the national team. Damn, after going back, you must let the Swimming Management Center thoroughly investigate this matter. Su Zhongyi thought in his heart, but for him, the greater trouble now is how to deal with the reporter's interview. Old Su, what should I do now? This is obviously someone framing Feifei, Lu Qian said anxiously. However, Su Zhongyi suddenly laughed. If I knew about this a few hours ago, I would definitely be helpless, but now it is different. I am not afraid of any more media. Feifei has lost weight. Here, Su Zhongyi couldn't help but look like Li Dai. It's dangerous. Really timely. It seems that this time I really have to thank Li Dai. Yu Feifei is less than 20 years old this year. It is said that athletes of this age, like the rising sun, will gradually enter their peak period. Mulnaval.me, but Yu Feifei is just the opposite. He should be in the ascending period, but his performance has obviously declined, which will inevitably cause various questions from the public. Some people questioned that Yu Feifei began to play big names and did not take part in training seriously. Some people questioned that Yu Feifei participated in too many business activities, which affected the training, but some people even questioned that Yu Feifei's previous results were obtained by unconventional means. For example, the use of stimulants. The famous Yu Feifei did not dare to use stimulants anymore, so his performance declined. The first two kinds of questions are good to say, but in the end this kind of question is really murderous. Doping is a taboo that no athlete can touch. Once contaminated, it is likely to ruin the athlete's career. Those who questioned Yu Feifei's use of stimulants apparently intended to ruin her career. Won the world championship at the age of 14, and broke the world record at the age of 16, this amazing result is indeed incredible, and there are reasons for doubt. If Yu Feifei can make persistent efforts and continue to create the best results, she can dispel all evil and doubts, but she is moving in the opposite direction. Faced with a variety of doubts, the national team gave the answer to the injury. The reason for the decline in Feifei's performance was attributed to the injury of the ankle. The athletes were affected by the injury and the inverted performance declined. I believe everyone can understand. What's more, Feifei did sprain his ankle during a training session. However, there is now a different version of Feifei's competitive state, which has inspired many conspiracy theorists. Various rumors have arisen. Yu Feifei returned to the provincial team for training, which is regarded as more a signal that the national team is about to be kicked out. Journalists in various cities in Xinjiang swarmed like vultures smelling carrion. Episode 47, Yun Yong. Sports Management Center, General Administration of Sports, in the conference room, related comrades are also discussing this matter. As the head coach of the national swimming team, my management has not been done well, and I have not done a good job in team solidarity. I have a responsibility for such a thing. I have a review with the leaders. Huadong, head coach of the national swimming team, come to bow your head. The attitude of the review is very sincere. Okay, Lao Hua. Strictly speaking, you can't blame you for this. There are some abnormal competitions among athletes. It hasn't happened before. Lao Hua has led the swimming team's achievements over the years. Don't want this to happen. It seems that the speaker is in his early 40s, and he is quite smart. He is the deputy director of the Swimming Sports Management Center, Zhuge Hongjun, and is also the real power leader in charge of the business. I saw Zhuge Hongjun went on to say, it is now the internet age, and the speed of media dissemination is very fast, and many netizens on the internet will always have some unwarranted guesses, so what we have to discuss now is how to deal with it, or how to resolve this incident, as far as possible to minimize the impact. Lao Hua, you are the head coach of the national team, you talk about it first. Huadong Li nodded, organized the language, and said, Yu Feifei's daily training is very hard, and there is absolutely no such kind of training slack as the internet said. As for her weight gain, this is also the fact. Yu Feifei, the weight gain is a physiologically normal phenomenon. When people grow up and develop, their weight will always increase. Our national team has taken corresponding measures to help Feifei lose weight, but Yu Feifei's weight loss effect is not obvious. I specially hired a professor of nutrition at the Capital Medical University, but there is still no progress, and it can even be said that the more fat the more. From a scientific point of view, this physiological weight gain is irreversible. Normal people cannot be lighter at the age of 26 than at the age of 16. So I think that at the current age of Feifei, there is no control. Weight gain is also a normal phenomenon, said a coach named Bai next to him. Coach Bai makes a lot of sense, but if this weight gain is irreversible, does it mean that Yu Feifei will be difficult to lose weight in the future? Does it mean that Yu Feifei can't get back to the peak state? Yu Feifei's recent results are not satisfactory, even in domestic competitions cannot get an excellent ranking. For such an athlete, do we still need to invest so much resources in her? Someone said, this man's surname Jiang, is a director of the Swimming Management Center. Director Jiang, do you want us to give up training on Feifei? She is a slam swimmer and has broken the world record. Huadong Li said eagerly. Director Jiang immediately retorted, that was a few years ago. Moreover, Yu Feifei can achieve good results, which is inseparable from the training of our swimming center. Now, since she has been difficult to return to the previous, this kind of competitive state, which still occupies so many resources, is a waste. We might as well use these training resources to other athletes. Maybe we can cultivate the second and third Yu Feifei. But Yu Feifei is less than 20 years old, she is still very young, and she should have the potential to tap it. Huadong Li said. Among our national team's reserve athletes, aren't 15 or 16-year-old good seedlings gone? They will have more potential. Director Jiang said tit for tat. That's different. After all, Yu Feifei has participated in so many contests. She once proved her strength. As long as she can lose weight, she can definitely get back to her original state. Huadong Li retorted. But can she lose weight? If she can lose weight, she won't lose 14 pounds last year. Director Jiang continued. Okay, let's discuss the problem, don't argue like a quarrel. Zhuge Red Army waved his hand, then helplessly, Director Jiang, I think you have an idea, let me talk about your suggestions first. I think this matter may be an opportunity for our swimming center. Since the media broke the news, we might as well take this opportunity to let Yu Feifei temporarily leave the national team. I think this can optimize our training resources and long-term view. Contribute to the sustainable development of the national team in the future. Director Jiang said. Are you going to drive Feifei out of the national team? Huadong Li's eyes widened. Director Jiang smiled slightly. Coach Hua, I know Yu Feifei is your lover, so you can't bear her to leave, you will worry about her future. When Yu Feifei broke the world record, the country did not reward her with a house. Well, this house is now worth at least 5 million, and Yu Feifei's advertising endorsement income in the past 2 years has also been 10 million. So much money is enough for her to spend the rest of her life, and you don't need to worry about her future. But Yu Feifei didn't make mistakes, he usually trained very hard and very serious. Huadong Li looked to Zhuge Red Army for help. Zhuge Hongjun also nodded. After all, Yu Feifei is a meritorious athlete of the national team and a banner of China's swimmers. It is not appropriate to expel him from the national team directly. It will cause adverse effects. Moreover, Yu Feifei is still very. If there is commercial value, we must also consider the loss in this respect. As the leader of the Swimming Management Center, Zhuge Hongjun obviously considered to be more comprehensive. The popular athletes such as Yu Feifei will receive a lot of advertising endorsement contracts every year, and according to the regulations, the income of the national team athlete's advertising endorsement is to be paid 50%. If Yu Feifei is really driven out of the national team will lose more advertising endorsements. I didn't think enough about it. Director Jiang continued, but I think that in terms of training resources, it can still be adjusted. If the training resources occupied by Yufei are distributed to other players, we can let our swimming team. The overall strength has improved level.me. Now Yufei needs the most to lose weight. This kind of thing is nothing more than scientific diet and a lot of exercise, and there is no need to take up too many training resources. Athletes have reached the level of the national team. To achieve results, talent and personal effort are only one aspect. Training resources are also extremely important. Many excellent athletes are actually smashed by a lot of training resources. This is similar to the training shooting in the army. As long as you are willing to spend bullets, you will always practice a good shot. Top athletes can enjoy the best treatment, give priority to using cash training equipment, and even go abroad for training. For example, when a swimmer goes to Australia for a training, one person will have to spend millions of dollars, so the opportunity to go abroad for training often belongs to only a few 2 or 3 people. If the same money is spent on ordinary athletes, it is enough for several people. At this moment, the secretary knocked on the door and walked in. He joined Zhuge Hongjun and said a few words. What? Press conference? You said that the Hanbei provincial swimming team held its own press conference. Now it has begun? Zhuge Red Army's face suddenly became somber. What is the coach of the Hanbei swimming team Su Zhengyi doing? He even held a press conference without consulting our swimming center. Does he not know that he needs to be unified with our swimming center? Even if he is not going to, we have a unified caliber, at least we have to report to our swimming center in advance. Yufei is still a member of our national team. Someone in the meeting room immediately said dissatisfied. Next to, someone opened the phone and swiped for a moment, then handed the phone to Zhuge Red Army. Director, look at it, someone is already broadcasting this news conference online. Episode 48, Press Conference. At the press conference, Su Zhengyi, as the head coach of the Hanbei provincial swimming team, sat in the middle of the rostrum. There are already dozens of reporters on the stage, including local media reporters, and reporters from various websites and media stationed in Xinjiang. Coach Su, it is rumored that Fei has been expelled from the national team, is it true? Coach Su, there is news that Yufei has gained more than 10 pounds a year, and now he weighs more than 70 kilograms. Is it true? Coach Su, you are Yufei's enlightenment coach. What do you think about her slack training? Su Zhengyi waved to the reporters, beckoning everyone to be quiet, and waited until everyone was quiet before he said, I have noticed the news reports on the internet. Here, I can be very responsible for what the internet said. Those are all rumors. Yufei is still part of the national team. A reporter raised his hand and asked, since Yufei was not expelled from the national team, why not stay at the Beijing National Team Training Center and return to Xinjiang? Isn't it about the Spring Festival soon? The Spring Festival is the most important traditional festival in our country. Going home for the New Year is also what every one of us who is far away from our hometown expects. The athletes are also people and need to go home for the New Year well. Yufei's hometown is our Xinjiang, so it is perfectly normal for her to go home for the New Year, and Yufei keeps training even if she goes home for the New Year. Su Zhengyi said here, posing as a victim, it's just that I didn't expect that such a normal thing was actually used by intentional people to make rumors and make big fuss. Here I also appeal those who do not have a conscience and morality will turn back this morning. Do and make rumors to create some eye-catching reports? Spring Festival homecoming, it sounds like there is really nothing wrong with it. Even if the reporters on the scene have doubts, they can't find a reason to refute. It can't be said that people go home for the New Year. In the meeting room of the swimming center, the volume of the mobile phone has been adjusted to the maximum, and everyone is watching this press conference. This Su Zhengyi usually looks reckless, looks like a big boss, and really plays when it matters. You look at him like that, I don't know how much I feel wronged. Zhuge Hongjun said with a smile. Su Zhengyi was also a very good athlete when he was young, and he has been a coach for so many years. When faced with reporters, he must have spoken well. Hua Donglai explained. Well, as long as Su Zhengyi doesn't talk nonsense, this press conference may also have a positive effect. Director Jiang went on to say, I'm afraid those reporters will ask questions. Director Zheng's words fell off, and when he saw the screen of a mobile phone, a reporter raised his hand to ask a question. Coach Su, what do you think about Yufei's weight loss due to sluggish training? Does her weight really reach 70 kilograms as reported online? After listening to this question, everyone in the conference room glanced at Director Jiang, and Director Jiang closed his mouth immediately. He also felt that he was a bit too crow-mouthed, and just said, afraid of reporters asking questions. As a result, a reporter really asked sensitive questions. The live video was aimed at Su Zhengyi. Su Zhengyi did not have the slightest nervous expression because of this sharp problem. He slightly slowed down and said, whether it is in the provincial team or the national team, Yufei the training has always been very hard and serious. This year, even after she broke the world record, it has not changed. Therefore, the online slacking in Feifei's training is completely a rumor and a malicious attack on Feifei. Su Zhangyi listened a little bit and then said, "As for Feifei's weight problem, I have to make a special explanation here. As an athlete, you must strictly control your weight within a reasonable range. In addition to ensuring a certain amount of training every day, weight also needs to be adjusted on the diet to ensure a reasonable nutritional mix. And the national swimming team has the country's top-class trainers and dietitians, so Yu Feifei's weight is also what has been kept in a relatively reasonable space. It is definitely not as rumored, and it weighs more than 70 kilograms. So how do you confirm this?" Another reporter asked immediately. Actually, there is no need to confirm this kind of thing. However, this matter has aroused the attention of many people in the society and the majority of netizens on the internet. In order to return to Feifei, I decided to let the reporters in front of me Feifei weighed on the scales and weighed. Su Zhangyi finished, waved to the side, and saw that the staff filled a weight scale and walked to the rostrum. "Let Yu Feifei weigh on the spot." All the reporters at the scene stretched their necks, waiting to witness this upcoming scene. Meeting room of swimming center. In front of so many reporters, Yu reading www.uukanshu.com let Yu Feifei weigh. Is Su Zhangyi so confident? Should be sure, otherwise Su Zhangyi would not dare to do this. In the meeting room, some people started talking quietly, and Zhuge Red Army looked at Huadong and asked, "What is the weight of Yu Feifei now?" When she returned to Qingqing the other day, it was 70 kilograms. Now, maybe she will be thinner. Huadong Li answered. "How many days has it been since Feifei went back?" Zhuge Hongjun then asked. 20 days. Huadong came to think about it, and then said an accurate answer, 24 days. Only 24 days? So short? Zhuge Red Army frowned, and then asked, "How much do you think Yu Feifei can lose weight in 24 days? Well, it's hard to say. Huadong Li has sweated on his head. Director Jiang next to said, "I have read some documents before. For professional athletes, under normal circumstances, they can lose 4 to 5 pounds a month, which is a very good result. I only lost 4 or 5 pounds a month. In 24 days, I can only lose 3 or 4 pounds. If we calculate according to 4 pounds, then Yu Feifei's current weight must be 68 kilograms. This is 70 kilograms. What's the difference? This Su Zhangyi is just fooling around. When he weighs on Feifei, he only weighs 3 or 4 pounds. How should he explain to the media by then?" The voice of Zhuge Red Army has begun to become more severe and can be seen he was very angry. Old Su shouldn't be so stupid. Huadong Li frowned and thought for a while, then suddenly beat his head and said aloud, "I understand, it is the weight scale. That weight scale must have been moved by Su Zhangyi hands and feet." Episode 49, On-Site Weighing. This speculation from Huadong Li seemed to be a gunshot that sounded in the middle of the night, instantly attracting everyone's attention. "Are you saying that Su Zhangyi has already moved his hands and feet on the scale?" Zhuge Red Army nodded silently. "This is a good way. Even if Yu Feifei does not lose weight successfully, the number of weights will be ideal." Yes. Su Zhangyi is honest and honest. I didn't expect that there are so many floury intestines in my stomach. I can think of such a bad idea. However, someone said next to him, that weight scale seems to be an electronic scale? As far as I know, it is not easy to make hands and feet on the electronic scale. Scales are often placed in front of the pharmacy, mostly pointer type. This pointer type weight scale belongs to the mechanical weight scale. Its principle is to use Hooke's law and the lever balance of force to measure the quality of the object. The advantage is that it is sturdy and durable, and one set can be used for 10 or 8 years without problems. But mechanical scales are easier to make hands and feet. For example, the old scales used by vegetable sellers in the vegetable market are easy to make hands and feet, or the kind of pan scale with a tray can also be changed. So people who often go to the grocery market to buy food will encounter some shortcomings. In comparison, the electronic scale uses a force sensor. After placing a heavy object on the storage platform, the surface is deformed and the shape of the built-in resistance is changed. The deformation of the resistance causes a change in the resistance value. The change causes the internal current to change to produce a corresponding electrical signal, which eventually becomes the value we see. If you want to work on the electronic scale, you can either work on the force sensor or change the built-in resistance of the electronic scale. These are all technical tasks, not the level of a vegetable vendor. At this time, there was a brief silence in the conference room. Everyone knows that it is not an easy task to work on the electronic scales, at least it can only be done by professionals in related industries. At least sports coaches certainly did not change the ability of electronic scales. Maybe Su Zhangyi found a professional and changed the data of the electronic scale. Someone said. Next to, the secretary worked hard for a long time, and finally connected the screen of the mobile phone to the projector. Everyone finally surrounded a small mobile screen differently. In the picture, Su Zhangyi said again, I think some of you will definitely doubt that we have done things on this scale. I don't think so. Let's ask some reporter friends to come up and say their own weight, verify whether this scale is accurate. Who would you like to come up with? Anyone who can be a reporter is a good deed. When Su Zhangyi just spoke out, several people raised their hands. The people in the meeting room were shocked. What is Su Zhangyi doing? If he changed the scale? Wouldn't it be completely exposed if the reporter was invited to go up? Don't Su Zhangyi do anything on the scale. Su Zhangyi is doing so in the end. Various voices filled with indignation immediately sounded in the meeting room. The most ugly faces Huadong came to coach. He just said that Su Zhangyi moved on the scale. Unexpectedly, Su Zhangyi invited reporters to verify. At the press conference, 4 reporters stepped onto the scale and finally proved that the scale was completely free of problems. At this time, Yu Feifei also came out from the next compartment and waved at the reporters. Yu Feifei is here. It doesn't look fat. Yeah, it's almost the same as before. It doesn't seem to be as heavy as a dozen pounds as rumored. If a girl is over 10 pounds fat, it will definitely be obvious. It looks like the rumors are on the internet. What do you know, athletes with low body fat content are already thinner than normal people. The reporters started talking quietly. Meeting room of swimming center. Coach Hua, you are the head coach of the national team and you have more contact with Yu Feifei. Do you think Yu Feifei is thinner? Zhuge Hongjun asked with a look of expectation. He hoped to get one from Huadong. Affirmative answer. The picture clarity is too low, and Yu Feifei is wearing winter clothes. It is really not easy to judge. Huadong Li has a little cold sweat on his head, in front of so many people, and there are Zhuge Red Army. Huadong Li does not want to take any responsibility for such a leadership with real power. So he simply said that it is difficult to judge. The Zhuge Red Army sighed for a long time. Although he was able to see the scene on the scene, Huajing and Xinjiang were thousands of miles apart. He had no ability to interfere, and now he can only listen to his destiny. Yu Feifei walked to the scale. At the press conference, everyone looked at Yu Feifei with breathlessness. The reporters who were discussing with the students closed their mouths. No one spoke at this time. The only thing that could be heard was the sound of the camera shutter. In the meeting room of the swimming center, the air seemed to be condensed. Everyone's face was hung with a nervous expression, and even the sound of breathing was extremely clear under this quiet atmosphere. Huadong Li's sweat on his forehead became clearer, with a complex color in his eyes, anxious, irritated, helpless, and expectant. The Zhuge Red Army was expressionless. He seemed to be lost in contemplation, as if he was thinking about what he would do next. Yu Feifei stood on the weight scale. The numbers on the display stretched out of Feifei's body and kept changing. When Yu Feifei fully stood his body, the numbers also fixed. 62.49 kilograms. A reporter yelled this number unconsciously. Click, click, click. The sound of the camera shutter quickly intertwined. The dazzling flashing lights flickered in front of Su Zhangyi's eyes. Su Zhangyi didn't take it seriously at all, and the winner's smile appeared on his face. The truth is clear, journalist friends should have no doubts. Su Zhangyi asked Mulnavel.me. Su Zhangyi said so. Now the reporters are beginning to blush. They thought they caught a big news, but unexpectedly, there was a big oolong. The so-called training slack weight gain is simply a matter of nothingness, and Yu Feifei returned to Qingcheng, just returned home for the Chinese New Year. Sure enough, the online rumors are not credible. Which fake idiot broke the news? We have to come to find a shame. Condemn, we must condemn the person who made the rumors. The reporters at the scene felt that they were being fooled by others, but they were filled with indignation. Swimming center meeting room. 62.49 kilograms? This weight is already within the normal range. Didn't Huadong say 70 kilograms? He lost 15 kilograms in more than 20 days. How is this possible? Is Huadong Li hiding? Zhuge Hongjun thought of this and turned to Huadong. However, Zhuge Hongjun did not expect that Huadong Li was also shocked. He seemed to be totally unable to believe what was happening in front of him. Huadong Li is the head coach of the swimming team. For more than a year, he has been struggling to lose weight with Feifei. It can be said that he has tried various methods, including going to the medical university to find nutrition as professor, but it has no effect. Now, Yu Feifei has lost 15 pounds in just over 20 days. This huge contrast makes Huadong Li incredulous, and a strong sense of frustration rises in his heart. Yu Feifei trained with me for a year and gained 14 pounds, went back to train with Su Zhangyi for more than 20 days, but lost 15 pounds. Why is there no reason? Episode 50, formally prepared. After sending away all the reporters, Su Zhangyi breathed a sigh of relief, and the crisis was resolved. Su Zhangyi took out his mobile phone, but found that there were several missed calls on it. Calling the national team coach Huadong Li. This press conference did not greet the national team. Dai Li must have known the news and was anxious. Su Zhongyi smiled and clicked back. The bell rang for only 2 seconds. Dai Li's voice rang. Obviously he had been holding the phone all the time. Old Su, you can call me back. You suddenly had a press conference over there, but there was a sudden attack on me. Dai Li said. This is also a sudden incident. Who would have thought that a report like that appeared on the internet suddenly hit me by surprise, and I was forced to help but had to hold a press conference to respond. Su Zhongyi, the words came to a halt, and then said, the reason why I didn't notify you of the national team in advance is mainly because I'm worried about the out-of-holiday branches. This online news broke my head and I don't want to cause other troubles. Dai Li has already heard it. Su Zhongyi implies that some people inside the national team secretly use means, deliberately aimed at Fei Fei. Lao Su, on the national team side, I will start investigating what is wrong. Dai Li sighed helplessly, and then said, you certainly don't know, today is really thrilling. Just now the swimming center is still discussing whether to continue this opportunity and let Fei Fei temporarily leave the national team. What do you say? Are you expelled from Fei Fei? Su Zhongyi's expression suddenly became serious. Don't touch me, I never thought of it that way. There are different opinions inside the swimming center. They think that Fei Fei's recent results are very unsatisfactory and should not take up so much training resources. Dai Li suddenly lowered after speaking. He said, the inside of the swimming center has been wrong and complicated, and it has been like this for so many years. You have also worked as a coach in the national team training camp, and you have some understanding of the swimming center. You know this kind of thing. Su Zhongyi snorted and asked, what is the result of your last discussion? Is it true that you will be expelled from Fei Fei? Of course not. Dong came and smiled, then said, but your press conference is also really the right time. When you saw Fei Fei lost 15 pounds, the director of the swimming center Zhuge Red Army has already spoken. 3 in the national team going to Australia for training in March, there will be a quota for Fei Fei. So you don't have to worry now. After the spring festival, let Fei Fei return to the national team as soon as possible. Ended the conversation with Dai Li, but Su Zhongyi realized that cold sweat had come out of his forehead unconsciously. Su Zhongyi knows what training resources mean for the athletes of the national team, especially the athletes who have already stood at the pinnacle of the world, are like sailing against the current, not going backwards. Even if the most sufficient training resources are given, at most, it is to maintain the state. If you slack off a little, performance regression is inevitable. Unexpectedly, the situation has reached such a serious point. Fortunately, this press conference is timely. Oh no, it should be said that Fei Fei lost weight in time. Su Zhongyi couldn't help but the figure of Li Dai emerged. Thanks to this Li Dai, Fei Fei has lost weight in such a short period of time. Otherwise, Fei Fei may be expelled from the national team. Then her career may be ruined. I misunderstood before. Li Dai, this time the dog really bit LV Dongbin. Bah, how can you say you are a dog? Su Zhongyi made a sullen expression. Lu Qian handed an apple to Su Zhongyi, and Su Zhongyi looked unhappy. Isn't Fei Fei's affairs solved? Why are you still so unhappy? Lu Qian asked her husband. Hey, it's not because I did something wrong, I blamed Li Dai before. Su Zhongyi said. Li Dai? Lu Qian thought for a while, is that the coach who helped Fei Fei lose weight in sports university? It's him. When I first met him, I gave him a face-breaking education and gave him a great embarrassment. Now think about it, it's really a foreign matter. Su Zhongyi picked up the apple and ruthlessly grit a bite. Then don't hurry up and apologize to others. Lu Qian started to cut the second apple. Do you feel that your face is overdone and you can't pull this face? Su Zhongyi shook his head. This is not a question of face. You don't know how serious this thing is. Fei Fei was almost expelled from the national team. Su Zhongyi told Lu Qian about the national team meeting. After hearing it, Lu Qian was also surprised. The matter is so serious, this time it was really thanks to this Li Dai, you really have to thank others. I am worried about this matter now. Li Dai has helped us do such a big favor. Thank him for being sure, but I am worried about another thing. You said that although Fei Fei lost weight this time, she will it rebound? Su Zhongyi asked. The age of Fei Fei is exactly the period of body growth and development, and the weight rebound is very normal. Lu Qian answered honestly. If Fei Fei's weight rebounds again, I guess I have to find this Li Dai. Do you think that is the case? Su Zhongyi continued. Yeah. Lu Qian nodded unconsciously. What are you talking about? I want to keep this Li Dai. Su Zhongyi went on to say, I think Li Dai is a young man. He will not stay at the sports university as an assistant coach. I want to dig him into the team. Come. In this way, if Fei Fei needs to lose weight later, it will be easier. This is not easy to handle. In our sports team, contract workers are not treated as well as sports universities. If it is formally compiled, you have to take the way of talent introduction and you have to find a lot of relationships? Lu Qian said. You have to find a relationship. Su Zhangyi sighed, I hope my old face is still useful. Lu Qian smiled slightly, and said a little coquettishly, you said that this Coach Li made a weight loss by relying on a weight loss exercise? What weight loss exercise is so powerful, and also taught me to chant, I also want to lose weight? Slimming exercise? I still think that thing is useless. This afternoon, I also asked Feifei to teach me several times. Guess what? Not at all thin. Su Zhangyi shook his head, so I think that this weight loss exercise is a guise. Li Dai must have no other secrets to disclose. Everyone has their own secrets. Since Li Dai is not willing to say, I will not inquire, whatever method he uses, as long as it is harmless to the body, it can help Feifei lose weight. Su Zhangyi set a private room in the restaurant of the provincial sports team to feast on Li Dai. Brother Li, I didn't expect your broadcaster. Oh, no, weight loss exercises are so effective. I used to know Taishan. This glass of wine was considered as a penalty for you. Su Zhangyi picked up the glass. Drink it all. After a few glasses of wine, Su Zhangyi seemed to be a different person. He shouted Lady Li bit by bit and began to rise up with Li Dai. Su Zhangyi, who was in his 40s, and Li Dai, who was in his early 20s, were called brothers and brothers. Instead, Li Dai was embarrassed. Li Dai also saw that Su Zhangyi was actually a pretty good person, he was a bold person, and it was more pleasant to drink. Only listen to Su Zhangyi said, Brother Li, I owe you a big favor this time, if you need my help in the future, despite the opening, as long as Su Zhangyi can do it, I will not shirk it. This is not to say polite words to you, I have always been a spit and a nail when Su Zhangyi said. Okay, coach, you don't drink, and you will get drunk again. Yu Feifei turned to Li Dai. Brother Li, don't listen to Coach Su's nonsense, he will brag if he drinks too much. Bragging? I didn't brag. Put it somewhere else, I dare not say it, but in our Qingcheng, my Su Zhangyi is more or less related. Su Zhangyi looked at Li Dai, his eyes rolled, and suddenly he asked, I said, Brother Li, are you at the University of Physical Education level.me or hired? Yes, I just came in September last year, and now I have been working in a sports university for less than a year. If I have a chance, I will take the exam again. Li Dai said. Coach Su, can you see if you can help Li Dai solve the problem? Yu Feifei asked. I can't solve the official establishment of the sports university. Su Zhangyi smiled, and then said, but the official establishment of the provincial sports team, I can try to run it. Brother Li, are you interested in coming to our province? Sports team? Coach Su, do you mean the official staff of the sports team? Li Dai confirmed. Yes, but it's not 100%. I can only say that I'm a little sure. Su Zhangyi took a bite of the dish. Fortunately, you are a professional in sports training, professionally, and also have a resume in the sports university. Let us go back and let Coach Chen Yuejin write a letter of recommendation for you. I'll recommend it to you personally, maybe I will have the opportunity to let you enter the provincial sports team. Really? Then thank Coach Su. Coach Su, I respect you a cup. Li Dai immediately raised his glass. If you can go to the provincial sports team as a coach, even if it is a higher system, Li Dai will not refuse. Although the work of the sports team must be busier, there are no summer and winter holidays, and the salary may be lower than in college, but in the sports team, the training is really real professional athletes. Which is better than in college. The training of students here is much stronger, and Li Dai will also gain more experience and can upgrade faster. This meal was originally set up by Su Zhangyi to thank Li Dai, but now Su Zhangyi has promised a formally edited post. With the establishment equal to the iron rice bowl, Li Dai thanked Su Zhangyi with gratitude.